Welcome back to day 19 of the Road to Ultimate Champion series. By now, if you've been following the climb since day one, you know this isn't just gameplay, it's a journey. A journey of growth, strategy, and proving that you can reach the very top without spending a single dollar. Today's episode is going to be one of the most important ones yet because it's all about consistency. Anybody can win one big game. Anybody can have one flashy push. But what separates pros from the rest is the ability to perform every single match with control, confidence, and calmness. Let me hook you in with this. Earlier today, I queued into a match against a player running Lavaloon. He was sitting at around 6,300 trophies, and I immediately knew this would be a test. Why? Because Lavaloon is one of those decks that punishes mistakes brutally. Place one troop wrong, waste a single elixir, and your tower is gone. But here's where consistency comes into play. Instead of panicking when I saw the Lava Hound in the back, I immediately switched into my structured game plan. I saved my air defenses, I tracked his spell rotation, and I made sure every time he pushed, I had the right answers ready. The result? Not only did I defend, I turned his all-in attack into my win condition. And that's the first lesson of today. Consistency beats chaos. Now, let's break that match down step by step, because I want you to walk away with something you can actually apply. When he dropped the Lava Hound, I didn't rush the opposite lane right away. That's a mistake I see so many players make. They think, okay, big tank in the back, I'll punish. But what happens? They overcommit, run out of elixir, and then can't defend the push. Instead, I waited. I defended calmly, with minimal resources, and once his balloon was down, then I launched my counterattack. This idea of controlled counterplay is what makes good players look unstoppable. The second match of the day was against a classic Hog Cycle deck. Now, you know I've said this before. Hog Cycle is like the ultimate consistency check. It's fast, it's relentless, and if you're sloppy with your defense, you'll get chipped down until it's too late. But instead of trying to stop every single hog perfectly, I focused on damage management. Sometimes I let the hog get one hit if it meant I could save elixir for a bigger push. Sometimes I pressured the opposite lane so he couldn't fully support his hog. And eventually, I broke through by making him split his resources. The key lesson here? Consistency isn't about perfection. It's about always having the plan, even if it means accepting small losses in exchange for bigger wins. Then came the third match, and honestly, it was the highlight of the day. I faced a Mirror plus E-Giant deck, and this guy was brutal. He mirrored E-Giant back to back, and for a moment, it looked impossible. But this is where mental discipline matters. Most players would tilt hard in that situation. Me? I took a deep breath, broke the game down into phases, and played with structure. I didn't panic when the first tower fell, because yes, it did fall. But instead of quitting, I treated the match like a puzzle. I used buildings to pull, I staggered my defenses to avoid spell value, and I focused on counter-push timing. And guess what? Not only did I take his tower back, I pulled off a 2-crown comeback in overtime. And that win, right there, is why you never quit. Now let's zoom out and talk about what these three matches teach us. Lavaloon taught us about patience and defensive consistency. Hog Cycle reminded us that perfection isn't required, just structured responses. And Mirror E-Giant showed us that mental resilience is the ultimate weapon. Put those three lessons together, and you've got a blueprint for climbing the ladder no matter what deck you're facing. But you know me, I don't want to stop at gameplay. I want you to understand the deeper mindset. Because Clash Royale isn't just a card game. It's a test of decision-making, discipline, and emotional control. That's why today, I want to introduce you to what I call the consistency triangle. The first side of the triangle is mechanical discipline, placing your troops correctly, spacing against spells, and never wasting elixir. The second side is strategic awareness, knowing when to defend, when to attack, and when to reset. The third side is emotional control, not tilting, not panicking, and not giving up after one bad play. If you can balance those three, you'll play at a consistently high level no matter what. Now, let me give you some practical drills you can do, even without playing a ton of matches. First, practice defending with minimal elixir. Go into a game and challenge yourself. How can I stop this push spending 1 to 2 less than my opponent? Second, practice tracking spell rotations. Write it down if you need to at first, but train your brain to know when fireball, lightning, or poison is out of cycle. Third, practice staying calm under pressure. Even if you lose a tower, remind yourself the game isn't over. Train your mind to see opportunities, not problems. And here's a pro insight for those of you still here. Consistency doesn't mean being predictable. It means being reliable while still staying adaptable. If you always defend in the exact same way, a smart opponent will catch on. But if your consistency comes from decision-making, not patterns, you'll always stay one step ahead. We're 19 days in, and every episode has been building to this. Consistency is the foundation that ties everything together. Without it, all the tips in the world don't matter. But with it, every match becomes an opportunity to climb. So here's my challenge to you. The next time you play, focus on just one thing: consistency. Whether it's consistent defense, consistent elixir management, or consistent mindset, pick one and commit to it. And then come back here and tell me in the comments how it changed your games. Before I wrap this up, let me leave you with this thought. Clash Royale isn't about the one highlight play. It's about the hundreds of small, consistent decisions that lead you to victory. The pros aren't pros because they make magic happen every game. They're pros because they almost never beat themselves. That's going to do it for day 19. But trust me, day 20 is going to be a turning point. We're closing in on some of the toughest matches yet, and I've got strategies prepared that will completely shift the way you see the game. So don't miss it. If you enjoyed today's breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with a friend who's trying to climb. Let's grow this community together, one consistent step at a time.